in the picture. It's inexcusable. And I expect the AP to apologize tomorrow. What do you think?
Well, I don't think they'll apologize. They've been slanted in this entire campaign for Obama, much more than the rest of the press, trying to drag Obama over the finish line. And this picture fits in it. But let me try to assuage your anger just a bit, because I don't think it's going to actually have an effect. The reason is that this is such a ridiculous photo. I mean, look, Mitt Romney. He's about the most straight-laced and polite, clean guy on the planet. I mean, for God's sake, the guy doesn't drink coffee. And the suggestion here is, he's trying to make a rude gesture? I won't even use the word, to an 8-year-old girl. So it clearly, the reader looks at that and knows that this is mischief cooked up by the photographer and by the editor. It's a kind of Photoshop, not literally so, but using an event where the figures are obviously disconnected, implying that there is a connection as a way to embarrass Romney. So I think its net effect is to reflect on AP and not on Romney.
Okay, and I agree with you. It doesn't affect on Romney at all, and nobody but a zealot and a crazy person, but there are plenty of those out there, but it doesn't matter anymore. They don't really have much to do with life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But the Associated Press used to be a proud organization, and it still has the widest reach of any print wire service in the country. And to do something like this, all right, that is shameful. It's just shameful. It just, how bad is it going to go? How low is the media going to go? And that's a question we're dealing with right now.
Well, in the old days, AP didn't have all that competition. It was the source of news. It was UPI, but it was, one of the main sources of news. But now with the internet, they're fighting for their lives. So they adopted some years ago a new business model. They were going to be more interpretive. Well, you know what happens. We know what the media are. They're overwhelmingly liberal. They pretend to be objective. The fact-checking and the truth squads and all this is rubbish. All it is, it's just a new label on their own perspectives. You're allowed to be a liberal. It isn't illegal in the country. But inevitably, if you're going to be interpretive, and people are going to remember you as a news source and not realize that you're now interpretive, what you're giving is opinion filtered under the pretense of news, and that's what they do.
All right. Now, you have put forth that there is panic, your word, within the Obama campaign. Explain that.
Well, number one, look at the polls. They're dropping like a stone for Obama. And why is this happening? The reason is that they had created an entire narrative about Romney, hundreds of millions of dollars of ads, showing him as an unfeeling, uncaring plutocrat who delights in killing steel workers' wives, in raising taxes on the middle class, lowering them on the rich. And much of this has gone sort of unresponded to by Romney. So here you have a debate. The one time when Romney can address 67 million Americans unfiltered by the media and with no ads to clutter it up, and utterly demolishes this straw man of Romney with argument.
Of Obama.
I mean, of Obama, with argument, with facts. I heard one liberal commentator say this morning, well, Romney won stylistically. This wasn't stylistic. Are you kidding me? Obama's the most charismatic candidate since Pierre Elliott Trudeau, since Rasputin before him. And on the other side is Mitt Romney, whom his friends affectionately consider an android. And you're going to say Romney won on style? He won on an avalanche of fact, which totally took apart the narrative. He showed he's not going to raise taxes on the middle class. He showed, and he demonstrated again and again, that the share of taxes that the rich are going to pay will remain the same under him. And you take away this straw man. You take away the idea of the rapacious capitalist who cares for no one. And there's nothing left in the Obama campaign. He can't run on stewardship, he can't run on the past, and he can't run on the future because he doesn't have a program. If he can't kill Romney, he's got nothing.
The reaction from the Obama campaign to the debate debacle for them was to call the governor a liar, unquote. That doesn't seem to be working, and they backed away from that now. Or am I reading it wrong?
They may or may not have backed away, but they're in a panic because what do? Their only resort, at least up to now, they went through a phase of excuses. A couple were that, the burdens of office on that debate were so high, appearing on The View, hanging out with Beyonce and Jay-Z.
I was on a
really,
View today. I can tell you what a burden that is.
Oh, it lays heavily on the brow of the crown, or whatever that is. Can't remember that quote. And then, you know, and the other excuse is he was off his game. He wasn't off his game. That is his game.
No,
Obama's a
I
very
disagree
intelligent
with you there.
guy. No, he's.
I think he was preoccupied by something. Look, I've gone up against him twice, and he much livelier with me, much quicker with me than he was in that debate. He was preoccupied with something. Maybe we'll find out. Maybe we won't.
I think you are too generous. This is a man
that's my
who has
nature,
a record.
Charles. You know me.
Oh, I know. I saw it with you and Stewart. When you took him on your lap, you know, the guy needed comforting.
I didn't take him on my lap. He imposed himself into my private space.
Well, all I got was an 8-piece snapshot, so how could I tell?
Yeah, I know. I'm glad I didn't shoot him from behind. Charles Krauthammer, everybody. Factor tip of the day, and it will...